Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Point and Click Adventures 5 Days a Stranger, brought to you by Exdolum. Now, are starting off where we last left off, where we did not talk to Jim, Philip, or Simone yet, so we will start talking to Jim. So, Jim, yes? Let's see here. We want to. Tell me a bit about yourself, Jim. Like what? I don't know. Where were you before you came here? I was at St. Trinian's boarding school, not far from here. Been there since I was 10. My parents move around a lot, you see. How old are you now? Nearly 16. How did you come to be here? It was stupid. We climbed over the school wall at lunchtime. Why? It was a dare. We were going to see how long it would take us, the school, to find us. Then we came across this old house, and Richard dared me to knock on the door. He bet me £1 I wouldn't do it. My school was something like that. Broke my collarbone playing pile-on once. Shut up, Philip. What happened next? Well, I was about to knock on the door, but it opened by itself. I heard Richard dare me to take a step inside. So you did, and the door closed behind you, and it wouldn't open again. Yeah. Your friends didn't call the police or anything? How should I know? I guess they didn't, since nobody came. That was one Wednesday. The school probably knew I'm gone by now. I see. What do you know about the mansion? Not much. We could always just about see the roof over the playground wall. We all used to tell each other it was haunted. Why? Were there any stories or legends attached? Well, a friend of mine used to say a crazy hermit lived there, who killed people and ate them alive. Oh, well, I'm certainly reassured. That's all I wanted to know. Okay. Well, we pretty much got nothing out of him. Simone. Oh, what do you know about the mansion, Simone? Well, I've heard some pretty disturbing stories about it. Here we go. There have been some stories of weird happenings around it for decades, ever since the first disappearance of the owner and his son. People have gone missing in the area around the house more than anywhere else in the country. People from all walks of life. People like us? Don't say that. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Why, that's so sweet of you to ask. We're in for it now. I'm a correspondent for the BBC, but you probably already knew that. I'm afraid I don't watch much television. Oh, well, I do outside broadcasts for the news, mainly. Sometimes I present documentaries or variety shows, whenever I'm needed, really. Very much a Jill of all trades. How did you come to be here? I only came down here for a documentary. There's been a lot of interest in the ghost stories lately. We figured something on the Defoe manor would pull in the ratings, and not because it would make interesting viewing. This is why I hate television. Excuse me, I was talking. I arrived here before the camera crew. I was supposed to wait for them, but I couldn't resist just taking a walk around the grounds. Next thing I knew, I was in the backyard. I looked all over, but I couldn't find a way back to the front. It was my own fault, really. Yes, it was. What happened to your camera crew? I have no idea. They probably just left when I never showed up. I'm sort of glad they didn't get mixed up in this, too. Quite. That's all I wanted to know. Okay. And lastly, Philip. Mr. Hardy? Yes, Mr. Trilby? What do you know about the mansion? Plenty. I read an article in this month's Treasure Hunting Monthly. It was built by some explorer guy, Sir Roger Defoe or something like that. His wife died giving birth. He and his son went missing sometime later. Hell, maybe the article could tell you better than I could. I'll let you borrow it. Thanks. Just don't mess it up too much. It's for my scrapbook. How did you come to be here? Well, I came up here to look for some artifacts. And I'm sure you had the full consent of the Defoe solicitors to do so. Shut up. I just heard of some old family tomb somewhere under the building. I mean, really old. Anything inside probably doesn't belong to anyone, so finders keepers. I managed to call in a few favors to get over the ravine and the back wall. Then, of course, I couldn't get out again. How many people know you're here? A handful, I suppose. They wouldn't get suspicious till I go missing for about months, though. Tell me a bit about yourself. About me? Well, I'm in what you'd call the import-export business. You're a thief. I am not a thief. I'm a treasure hunter. I only take what belongs to dead people, since they're not using it, you know. Our new friend there, he's a thief. True, but also a gentleman, and I only take what I'm sure no one's using too. I'm sure that's a great comfort. That's all I wanted to know. Righto. Anyone else see the pattern in all these stories? Which pattern would that be? Seems to me the house only traps people individually. It didn't try to trap Jim's friends, or Simone's camera crew. It's only letting us in one at a time. You're talking about the house like it's intelligent. Surely it's more likely that there's just some joker behind all this. Maybe. But how did they know we were coming? How did it know to leave a window open for me, risking one of you finding it? You think the house is haunted? I wouldn't use that word, but I definitely have a very odd feeling. Like we're being watched, I suppose. Yeah. Maybe this is one of Simone's raided winners. Excuse me? Well, locking up some people in a house against their will and secretly filming them sounds like a natural reality TV progression. It's also highly illegal. Would it stop some people? Where the hell has AJ gone to anyway? I was hoping he'd be here. He's been doing some research on the house. He was going to share it with us tonight. Maybe someone should go look for him. What, now? It's getting pretty late. I admit I am beginning to feel tired. Yeah, me too. But what about AJ? I don't think there's any need to worry now. If he still hasn't turned up by morning, then we'll look for him. Oh, alright. But we look for him as soon as we get up. Day 2. This is pretty interesting so far. What was that noise? Okay, oh, we got a little cutscene going on here. Dude, what the hell? What? Simone? Philip? Jim? Oh God, who did this? What the? You did this? I'll stay back, I'm warning you. Who are you? What? Oh my God, the mind fuck. Christ, I've never dreamt so vividly before. It was so disturbing. Jesus, that was... Whoa. And there goes the door opening. It's a rather amateurish landscape. The signature identifies it as the work of Matthew Defoe, circa 1818. Alright, well... Jesus, I'm afraid to go in here now. But there's no one there. I'll use the telephone then. Line's dead. Somehow I was expecting that. Let's just look around, I guess, for now. Wait a second. Has the photo changed? It's a portrait of an aging man in a safari suit. The plaque reads Sir Roderick Defoe. Let's talk to Jim. Jim? Hi, Mr. Trilby. Do you know where the others are? Well, I don't know where Mr. Hardy is, but Miss Taylor is up in the library. The library? On the second floor. I think she broke the door open or something. Thanks. What are you reading there? Treasure Island. I found it in the living room. How are you liking it? Well, it's a bit heavy going. I think I prefer Terry Pratchett. Seen AJ anywhere? Not since yesterday morning. He seemed pretty anxious about something. Did he say why? No. Just said something about getting to the bottom of all this. Then he left the room and I never saw him again. How are you feeling? Okay, I guess. I had this really horrible dream. But you don't want to hear about it. You're taking this imprisonment very well, I must say. Well, it's not that different from boarding school, really. Except there's no one to hit you across the knuckles when you talk too much at night. That's all. Alright, we have this article. Let's look at this article. It's an article cut out from a magazine called Treasure Hunting Monthly. The Mystery of the Defoe Manor. Defoe Manor, one of the country's more notorious stately homes, is renowned for being a great source of untold wealth. But what is the curse that surrounds the creaking house? The mansion was built in the early 19th century by the legendary explorer Roderick Defoe in celebration of his retirement and marriage. Sir Roderick disappeared along with his only son on the 15th year anniversary of his wife's sudden death. After that, the house fell into the possession of a succession of heirs, most of whom died or disappeared in mysterious circumstances. The house was left abandoned after the last heir was thought to have died in 1946 until the recent appearance of Clarence Defoe, who managed to prove his connection to the lineage and inherit the house. Suppose we should go upstairs, I guess. I really love this, the landscaping here, the background, the foreground. Here's the broken door. Ah, the library. It's actually quite a lovely little place here. We got a little shadowing for the chair. I like this. This is a really, really interesting game. So I just saw, hey, Miss Taylor. Ah, hello, Mr. Trilby. Do you know where the others are? Well, Philip said he was going into the garden. I don't know. And Age is still missing. Sleep well? To be honest, not really. I had this terrible dream. No. Actually, it looked exactly like you. What does this mean? Alright, Alright, do you know where the arrows are? Did you break the lock on the door? How are you holding them? Did you break the lock on the door? No, I just came up here and it was like that. I suppose AJ must have done it. He must have been reading from the pile of books. I don't know exactly. I'd have to ask him. So I take it AJ hasn't turned up yet. Oh, do you think he found a way out? If he did, he didn't have the decency to tell us. I wouldn't be surprised. He's kind of jumpy. Maybe he just saw an opportunity and took it. Maybe. What do you know about AJ? Not much. He refused to tell us anything about himself. Where he came from? Why he came here? Not even his full name. Kinda suspicious, isn't it? Do you think he has some kind of agenda? I really wouldn't know. Of course, you're no one to judge when it comes to withholding names. How are you holding up? Oh, spare me the gluttony. I'm just fine. See you later. Sure. See, let's look. Get our books. This shelf is full of nothing but photo albums, books. Evidently, someone's been doing a little research here. The 1988 edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica with Wagner to Woodhouse missing. Books of photography, cartooning, and watercoloring. Oh. Yep. It's locked still. It's locked still. That's a bathroom, so let's head downstairs. We're whispering a little bit. Let's go find Philip. That picture change is actually kind of creepy. Walking. What if this is locked still? Locked. There's a blurry shape visible in the water, but I can't tell what it is. Perhaps if the pool were drained. Huh? Blurry shape. I think it's best to leave it alone. So the pool were drained. Use a stick. Use stick. Drain. Doesn't work. Okay, let's go this way. Oh, Philip appears to be doing some. What is that? Is that a metal detector? I think that is a metal detector. Can we go any further over here, though? I don't think we can. Huh. Alright, well, we will end this episode off here for now. And we will continue after. We will continue from here when we come back. So have a great night, and I'll see you then.